Hi everybody, I just realized that I've never talked about A Hat in Time on the internet before, so I want to talk about it. A Hat in Time is an amazing game, probably one of my favorite platformers in maybe the last decade. Growing up in the mid-90s, I really loved games like Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, where you'd run around, collect things, and it was just a lot of fun. It gave you this sense of wonder, this sense of adventure that a lot of newer games don't have. A Hat in Time brings that back with almost everything you would expect from an old platforming game, but with new, awesome controls and tight mechanics that make it feel fresh and great. It mixes a lot of the games that I previously mentioned, along with maybe Rayman 2, The Great Escape. The story begins with Hat Kid waking up in her spaceship trying to get home. During her morning routine, she's rudely interrupted by a mafia member trying to collect some protection money from her. In the middle of this interaction, she opens the door and all of her timepieces go flying out into the planet below. What happens is she has to go and collect all the timepieces so that she can energize her spaceship and get back home. This is a pretty good framework for a lot of different adventures to take place, going from taking down the mafia to getting a contract with some kind of demon monster thing. It's pretty great. The adventures are very varied. There's a lot of variety in the type of missions and levels that you'll be doing. It's a lot of fun just seeing what kind of curveballs the developers will throw at you next. One second you're going to be sneaking around like a train. The next second you're going to be jumping on platforms as fast as you can through a movie studio. It's incredibly rewarding to just get to the next area. You always want to keep going forward and collecting the hats. Now that's one thing that I haven't talked about yet is you can collect these yarn balls, and there's tons of different types of hats. There's ones that allow you to blow things up, there's ones that allow you to become an icicle, there's ones that let you run really fast. I don't have all of them in this video because a lot of this is for my second playthrough and I didn't have them yet, but I can just tell you mixing and matching these hats and learning when to use them, it just feels great. It feels like an old Banjo-Kazooie game. I was instantly in love once I started using these power-ups. Other than the power-ups, the main gameplay is of course platforming, jumping around, using different abilities to get to different platforms. There is some basic, very basic combat, which is still fun on its own, but it's definitely not the main thing about the game. There is some very light stealth mechanics when you're sneaking through trains or in like a creepy mansion. It kind of reminds me of Sly Cooper. While the things that you'll be doing in each of these levels is very varied, the layout of the levels reminds me a lot of Super Mario Sunshine, where you'll have a very specific task or goal that you have to do in order to gain a timepiece. Once you get enough timepieces, you can go to the next level. So if you're familiar with any of the Nintendo 64 games, you know what you're doing. The art style is really simple, and until you start playing the game, it's kind of hard to appreciate for what it is, since the lighting has a lot to do with the way this game looks. Another thing that really adds to the flavor of the game is how each level has kind of its own unique aesthetic to it that just really adds a lot of atmosphere to the game. And speaking of atmosphere, surprisingly this game has it in spades. There's so many good moments in this where it just completely changes tone and almost genre, and it's fantastic because you never know what's waiting behind the corner. One minute you're gonna be jumping around just like in a Mario game, while the next you're figuring out a mystery for like a noir type of movie.
You better show your fam some love, or I'll be talking to a corpse.
It's fantastic. There's one part in particular that I really want to talk about, but I'm going to keep it pretty brief and cryptic so that people that have already played the game can know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to give anything away. But there's a specific part in the game that like almost scared the crap out of me. It was surprisingly scarier than most rated M games that I've played, and that says a lot. I really appreciate that Gears for Breakfast have created a game that both adults and children can enjoy, and even when children are enjoying it, they're not being patronized or anything like that. A good example of what I'm talking about is just within the humor itself.
We smash them together into mush and put their remains in a jar. Then we sell the jar for pocket money. That'll be the ultimate salt in the wound.
While it is kind of childish, it also has this mischievous side to it that I think adults will also really like and appreciate. I could see any age playing this game and enjoying it. With that said, it's a game that I really love, and I would strongly implore anybody to play it, no matter what age you are. If you have nostalgia for the Nintendo 64, or if you're completely new to the platforming genre and you're a younger person, I would say to just try and give Hat in Time your time, really. Just give it a try. I know that it's available for almost all major platforms. I played mine on my PC. I can't speak for the PS4, Xbox One, and soon a Switch version is coming out, and I don't know how that is, but I think I'll be buying it for the Switch. And especially if you're a Switch owner and you like Mario Odyssey, check this game out. Try it out, especially if it performs as well as it does on the PC. I'll probably be buying it. I'll probably review it. I'll let you guys know how it is. But as it is now, definitely try and find this game. From the art style to the music to the environments to everything, it's pretty clear to me that Gears for Breakfast has almost a reverence for this genre and for its audience as well. This game, I never felt unsatisfied or bored or anything like that. It is a blast to play throughout the whole entire thing. Personally, I haven't played the DLC, but I plan to do that, and I'm just gonna leave it there. Go out, try and find this game, and let me know what you think. Thanks for listening.